Hi Julie, how are you doing today?
Good.
Is there a problem that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I have a paper due, like a really, really big paper due in like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
So, and I haven't started yet because I haven't found the time to do it. So that's my problem, just finding that time somehow, especially it's during finals. It's like an unexpected paper. Well, it was expected, but yeah, I just haven't been really working on it.
Okay. So you have a paper that's due in 2 weeks that you haven't started on?
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take you to do the paper?
Well, I've kind of mentally broke it down into stages, and I have to like annotate my paper. It's like a research paper,
Okay.
so I have to like uh, take 8 articles and like research them and break them down into categories. That's like the first stage, and so I think that would take like 2 days probably.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, I have to find the time to do that. And once I do that, then I can start my paper.
So your paper's, from my understanding, is your paper's due in 2 weeks, and you have to, um, you have articles that you have to break down, and you can't start on your paper until you do those articles, which you figure is gonna take you like about 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. What um when you said you had a paper, your face looked like you were a little bit stressed out, like you weren't gonna get it done in time.
Yeah, I think I will get it done in time. Just like it has to do with like the quality of it, cause yeah, cause I could rush it and then it's like a 300-point paper. So like if I rush it, I'll probably regret it. But um, yeah, just finding a plan to just break it down, break down the paper into days or something.
Okay. So you've thought about rushing it, and then you rethought about it, but you'd probably regret it at the end. If maybe if you get a bad grade, you might regret it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So what have you decided what articles you're doing yet?
Yeah, I've actually done that. I found all my articles. I just need to print them because the printer was broken in the classroom during that time, so I didn't get a chance to print them. So I'll probably have to do that today, probably today. Yeah, and then I can get started.
Okay. So your paper, from what I'm understanding, is that your paper is due in 2 weeks. You found your articles. You just have to, from what you said, is research them and break them down into certain categories, and then you could fully start on your paper.
Yeah.
And you don't want to rush it because you don't want a good grade, and that would make you really sad. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'll probably be like bummed out about it for a while.
What so what steps do you think you should take for doing this paper?
um, so probably start today. First step, get them printed. Second step, annotate them. Third step, outline the paper. And then fourth step, uh, divide it into themes and start working on them individually. And then maybe go see a writing tutor just to get her to like look over it and say if it's good or something, or what needs to do work.
Okay. So it seems like you've gotten your steps down, and you said earlier that the breaking them down into your articles into sections was going to take about 2 days. So how many days do you think will the rest of the paper take after you do the articles?
I think 1 week to write the rough draft, and then the next week after that, just to finalize it, and that's when I'll probably go see a writing tutor just to get her to give me some pointers.
So your strategy is start on it today, and then after you start on it, um, you said it was going to take you 2 days to read through all 8 articles, and then it's going to take you the rest of the week to do your first draft, and you're going to take it to a writing tutor to make sure everything's the way it should be and perfect. Okay. Is there maybe another strategy if that one doesn't work?
Another plan? Like if I procrastinate, keep on procrastinating? Like that?
Sure.
Well, if I keep doing that, then I'll probably end up cramming it in at the end of the week or something. But I think that's like the basic plan that I'm comfortable with doing. I don't think I would do anything else because I think if I break it down into days, then I won't have to, like if I write like one paragraph about this today and just do day by day. I haven't thought of any other strategies or goals on how to accomplish that.
Okay. Then you said the paper was worth 300 points. And you knew about the paper when it was originally assigned. When you mentioned that you second guessed yourself, like it was unplanned, and then you said the paper was unplanned, and then it was planned. That's what you said. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So we were told about it before spring break, just like briefly, just saying this paper's due because we were working on another paper for the class, which is due right before spring break. And so while we were working on that paper, she also mentioned about how we have another longer paper due, like 3 weeks before the end of the semester. And so yeah, so I kind of knew about it. I guess just starting on it is when I considered myself actually working on it. So that would have been like 2 days ago or something.
Okay. So it was mentioned, the paper was mentioned in class before spring break, and you didn't really put much thought into it, it seems, until 2 days ago.
Yeah. I thought about it. Like, I really thought about, like, what kind of articles I want to write about, what my theme's going to be. But I guess just starting, I guess I put other things before it because I didn't really prioritize it.
Okay. So you're prioritizing the paper was kind of at the bottom of the list, and then now it's more towards the top.
Yeah, it's working its way up there.
Okay. And you found the articles that you're gonna look at and read, and you just need to print them out. But you mentioned that your printer in your class wasn't working the day you were trying to print them out, so you're gonna try to print them today.
Yeah.
And the plan you're looking at is to print them today, and then afterwards do read about them and sort them into categories from what I'm understanding. And you're gonna, it's gonna take about 2 days. And from there, write out your paper by this next week and take it to a writing tutor to make sure it's all perfect. and then hopefully get a good grade.
Yeah.
Have you thought about having anybody else look over your paperwork if you can't get an appointment with a writing tutor?
No, I haven't thought about that, but I usually just give it to my sisters to read, even though they don't want to, like half the time. So, have one of them read it. Just yeah. I can't really get like my teacher to read it, which I would love to get feedback on it, but yeah. I think if I can't see a writing tutor, I'll just uh, read over it myself carefully. Um, I'll have to do it myself then.
Okay, so it seems like maybe that could be another plan if the writing tutor isn't available.
Yeah.
As to, from what I'm understanding, force your sisters to read it or read it yourself and make the corrections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from what I'm understanding, it's a pretty long paper.
Yeah, it's like 10 pages.
Oh, wow. And you don't want to rush it.
Mm-mm.
Because it seems like you'd be more stressed maybe if you're rushing it.
As well, definitely.
And you feel, from what I'm understanding, is if you take your time, you'll be able to relax and kind of really pay attention to the paper that you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And your professor mentioned it in the beginning before spring break, but just briefly mentioned it, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did. Because we were still working on our other paper, so she didn't want to overload us.
Okay.
So she just went over it.
Yeah. And you said you'd work on it a little bit every day, like a paragraph, you said?
Yeah, break it up somehow into every day. Just literally do like a page a day or two paragraphs about a certain subject a day.
So you're gonna do your print it out. You're gonna research it for 2 days and then maybe do a paragraph or two to even a page a day
Mm-hmm.
and somehow fit that into your schedule.
Yeah. I guess just finding that time and making that time would be like the hard part. Because like I think working on it would be pretty simple if I have an outline.
Okay.
I just need to like find time to actually do it.
How do you think you'd find time?
It's kind of hard because this week is like Easter season, so like I got like all these events to go to, and so I think mm, breaking it up that would help, or um, maybe being extra cautious of how I'm spending my time, like maybe like even cutting like if I'm like eating something, I could just break it down into like okay, I'm gonna eat for like 10 minutes or something, and then I'll go and just do my paper instead of just eating for 20 minutes. I'm not really sure how long I eat for, but just to be like aware of my time is more aware. And even in times when like where I'm just lounging around, not really doing anything, then I could be productive in those times. Or write myself like a sticky note, stay focused or something.
Okay, so to make sure you get your paper done, you've came up with a solution to maybe cut your eating in half, it seems, and or do a sticky note, or not lounge around and be unproductive, and to be more productive when you find yourself lounging around doing nothing.
Yeah.
And in that time, you think you'd be able to get a couple paragraphs done.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, because it's kind of like when I write, I have to be motivated. Because if I have to force myself to write, it's not going to be that great of a thing if I actually want to write it. So I think even like finding some motivation to do it, because I don't want to force myself to write, because it might take me like a long time to do it if I have to force myself. But if I want to do it like out of motivation, I might get it done faster.
Okay. So you trying to, on top of not trying to force yourself, just be motivated.
Yeah.
And get it done in a productive amount of time, and hopefully have enough time, get a writing tutor to look it over, to make sure it's right and you get a good grade on the paper.
Yeah, I don't want to just get it done. I want it to be a quality paper.
Yeah, that's understandable. So, from what I'm understanding, is that the problem you have is a paper that's due in 2 weeks. It's worth 300 points, and it's 10 pages. And your plan is to get started today and print out the articles that you've already found, and you want to cut out your time doing certain activities to maybe knock out a couple paragraphs or even a page, but at the same time you want to be motivated to do the paper so you can have quality work, because you mentioned that when you're unmotivated your work isn't very productive or high quality. Okay. And then you plan on getting it to a writing tutor, and if your other solution, if a writing tutor isn't available, to have one of your siblings or even yourself review the paper to make sure it's good, and then turn it in.
Yeah.
Okay. And your goal is to have a good paper and hopefully a good grade on your paper. Am I understanding all that? Okay. That seems like a very good plan. And do you think it would work?
I hope so. I hope so, because sometimes you just need to take a break sometimes, or sometimes, I've noticed that I like to plan out everything, like what I'm going to do at this time, but in reality, it may not go that well, and something could always come up. So I think I could make some room available if something goes wrong.
Okay.
And something to do that.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. What other plan do you think you can make?
Not to be afraid to stretch it out the whole 2 weeks, because sometimes I just want to get it all done super fast, and to just Find a way to just actually stretch out the whole 2 weeks, not just get it done the first week and then hopefully find time to finalize it, but to actually stretch out the whole week, the whole 2 weeks.
Okay, that sounds like a good alternate plan. Thank you so much for talking to me. I hope you get your paper done in time and it's good quality.
Thank you.